Hello, dear listener. Welcome to episode 9, chapter 3, Cosmology in CaoDai, part 4, the final part for cosmology. We will be studying today the Mother Goddess, education of humanity, and the constitution of human, as well as touching on the role of the woman in CaoDai.
The Mother Goddess uses all means to educate humanity to bring them back to their divine origin. She is always with her children, nurturing, teaching, helping them to progress in their spiritual cultivation to return home. In CaoDai scriptures, the Mother gave innumerable touching, graceful messages to her children on earth. Her main messages are for us to tend to the services to humanity and to our self-cultivation. On service to humanity, the message from Coslomony, Vietnam on May 2nd, 1965 is reproduced here. Children, look around you, alas! Multitude of misery, multitude of people in solitude, suffering from the cold, from hunger, at this or that section of town, with no home, lacking clothing, lacking care and comfort. They are waiting for your loving hands, your kind words. Your task has for you, and will ask for, a formidable amount of energy and resources. One of you cannot respond to this demand alone. It needs all of you to cooperate. This is why I come to you today to bring some warmth to you who have been lost in the coldness of time, and to show you the way of service that each one of you has responsibility for. Many of you are enlightened early in your life. You realize where the truth is, where be the error, where is love and righteousness, where are the mortal lures, where is the ephemeral glory leading only to unhappiness. Children, look at all that you are enjoying. Where is happiness? Happiness does not proceed from Dai Mei, God and Goddess. Does not reside in magnificent houses, pillows of silver, or beds of ivory. But the happiness is what you receive in your heart when you do service to others. Joy, satisfaction, bliss. Spend your time to provide to all people, to all societies, emotional support, food, clothing, shelter, schools, and hospitals. This constitutes happiness for them and you, a happiness that cannot be stolen by thieves, cannot be destroyed by flames or floods. If you do not see the source of that happiness, you will always live in the impermanence of this deceitful world and an endless reincarnation.
That passage is from the heart of the gentle, loving mother, 1965 to 1969, from Cơ quan Phổ thông Giáo lý, translation by Bui and Bui. Now, after we talk about service, we come to the next education that Mother Goddess gives to us, and that is self-cultivation. For our self-cultivation, the basis resides in compassion, love, and justice. Compassion consists of being sensitive to the sufferings of others and of trying our best to help actively relieve those sufferings. Love means unconditional love not only to our fellow human, but to all creatures from animal to plants. Love is also a forgiving love, which eventually brings the person, though they make mistakes, back to the righteous way. Justice means to be fair, equanimous to all. Being vegetarian also expresses justice besides love, since it is not just to have pleasure in satisfying our senses while bringing about the killing of animals, which themselves have a life to live, a family of their own to nurture. The mother also sent practical tips for self-improvement. Try to control the human emotions of anger, jealousy, hatred, fear, desire. Do small things to become great. Fight laziness. Be aware that we tend to embellish ourselves physically while forgetting to improve our virtues. Be aware that human emotions bury our good nature. Returning to the inner self and shedding the layers of impurity will allow one to discover the gem deep inside ourselves, that gem that is the pure spirit which guides us in righteous thinking, speech, and action.
In summary, the Mother Goddess holds the following powers. Possesses the creative negative, yin, female, light energy, Shakti, while the Supreme Being holds the positive, yang, female, light energy.
Male. Yang is male.
I said male. The Mother Goddess combines the negative light with the positive light to create all visible beings. Governs Kimpan, golden dimension, where she uses yin and yang energies to create the mind. Educates and saves all creatures by leading them back into the divine origin. Governs the Tao Hua Tin, or the creating and nurturing dimension, the ninth celestial realm, where she creates all creatures and from which Buddhas travel to the world to nurture and educate all creatures to bring them back to their origin. She is the spiritual mother of all creatures. She directs the 9 Lady Immortals and a multitude of Buddhas to help her in the salvation of humanity.
The role of the woman in CaoDai involves the clergy and the family. From the start of the CaoDai faith, God instructed for the establishment of the female college. Women can hold dignitary position from student priest to bishop, archbishop, and cardinal. The positions of legis, cardinal, and pope are to be held by male dignitaries. The Supreme Being said that the yang, male energy, is a tad higher than the yin, female energy, for a sustainable natural order. In the CaoDai family, the woman plays a significant role in nurturing the household and takes over in providing for the family should the husband decide to devote totally to the clergy. Next, we will be speaking on the constitution of the human being. Humans are composed of 3 parts. The visible physical body, created by the Mother Goddess from a combination of negative and positive elements, yin and yang energies. The mind and emotions, semi-visible, also from Mother Goddess using yin and yang elements. The third part is the spirit, conscience or soul, invisible, the little sacred light emanated by Father God, the monad, Brahman, or the great sacred light. The energies of the mind and the body form the second body of the human, which is the semi-visible subtle body. It is light. In order for the second body to be able to incarnate onto the earth, which is at a heavier and lower dimension, it has to wear many heavy coats, which are responsible for human emotions and desires. But then on earth, these emotions and desires need to undergo purification. The physical body responds to the demands of the six senses: vision from the eyes, sense from the nose, hearing from the ears, tasting from the tongue, touching from the skin, and perception from the mind. These demands generate desires, anger, fear, jealousy, hatred, overt happiness, as opposed to spiritual bliss, all of which create unrest. In Buddhism, dukkha, D-U-K-K-S-A, are forms of suffering. When a person dies, the body will become dust, and the second body will progress depending on the weight of the coats the person wears. Soul with good emotion, more yang, and who have gotten rid of the heavy coats of emotion and desires, would be lighter and would be dwelling at higher dimensions. Souls with more negative emotions, wearing more coats, would be heavier and would be dwelling at lower, darker, colder dimensions. The physical yearnings and subsequent emotions need to be controlled by the pure spirit or conscience in order to progress to lighter dimension and finally to enlightenment. The three bodies, the physical body, the semi-visible mind and emotion, and the spirit, correspond to the tinh khí thần, called the three treasures, which are offered to God during prayers and which also form the basis for cultivation in meditation. In the offering of the three treasures, young bamboo, flowers and fruits represent tinh or the physical visible body. Wine represents khí or chân thần or the mind and the emotions. And tea represents thần or chân linh or the spirit or soul.
Summary. The CaoDai worships Father God, Duk Ji Don, and the Mother Goddess, Duk Fat Mao. God is the monad, the great sacred light, Brahman, the unique God for all. By emanation, God divides the monad into the dyad, the yang, which he governs, and yin, which he trusts to Mother Goddess. God, the great sacred light, emanates to give the small sacred light, or spirit, to the human and all in the universe. The sacred light are also known as the spirit, the soul, the conscience, which constitutes the invisible part in the human. Mother Goddess creates the semi-visible mind and emotions and the visible physical bodies from yin and yang elements. Thus, the human constitution consists of three parts: the invisible pure spirit, or little sacred light, the semi-visible mind and emotions, and the visible physical body. This is the end of Chapter 3, Cosmology and CaoDai. Thank you for listening.